there's so many different ways that you can think about this stuff, right? And so many guys will feel pain and think when they get a certain result that at that point, that's when they're gonna finally be fucking happy. And I had an experience in 2006 where I had Real Social Dynamics doing enough revenues to make it in the Inc. 5000 list. I had a girlfriend who I love to death, who I'm having hot, unprotected sex with every night in a Hawaiian oceanfront apartment, right on the fucking ocean with the bed on the fucking balcony. I'm eating in 5-star fucking restaurants every night. I'm doing work that I love. I'm swimming in the ocean. I'm hiking in Hawaii, doing little intra-island flights. Everything's on the up and up. And one day I was sitting there and I thought to myself, I'm putting so much effort into animating this kind of character that the more that I animate this character of Tyler and the more love or acceptance that I get for this character, the more that my real self-esteem is being starved. Because when I'm getting love for this character that I'm playing, the real me is not getting love, it's this character that I'm playing. And it's reinforcing this rat race in my fucking head of frantically trying to be this person that I think that people will love and respect. When I realized that after many years, it was a strange experience because for like several months, I'm walking around Hawaii thinking, I've come so fucking far. I feel like I've come so fucking far. There's people with way better lives than me, but I feel like I've come so far from where I came from. Why am I not happy? Why do I feel the fucking same as before? I feel the fucking same. I don't feel a difference. I got all the shit that these rap videos and consumer culture and everything told me would make me happy. I've got it. And it's funny because Eckhart Tolle says there's 2 ways to feel insane. One is to not have what you want. And the other that can make you even feel more insane is getting what you want. Because when you don't have what you want, you have hope. Like when I get that hot girlfriend, when I live in Hawaii, I have the business, I can eat wherever I want, do whatever I want, then I'll be happy, there's hope. But when you finally get what you want and you still feel the fucking same, all hope is gone. And you feel so crazy. And I remember bodyboarding in Hawaii and I'm taking in a wave and all I can think about are things that are pissing me off. And I'm like, I'm on a wave in Hawaii with a hot girl that's gonna fuck me. I'm like literally on the wave. Like in Hawaii, okay? Like on the wave. Like looking at the girl like, hey baby, like waiting. And I'm like, I feel the same as before. No, you know, I can feel it. It drives you crazy. You know, a lot of time people will say, I'm saying don't go get that awesome girlfriend or don't, you know, get that apartment in Hawaii if that was your dream or wherever if that's your dream. I never believe that. I despise that. Disengagement, not going for things, I despise that. But it's just, I want you to do it from the inside out. Like, I feel good already, and I'm gonna do it for the fun of doing it, rather than feeling like shit and trying to make yourself feel good. Okay, I want you to do it from a space where you're at the cause of it, not that you're chasing something because you're at the effect. You see the difference there? I want you to get hot girls, not to get validation, but for the joy of taking action to get hot girls. So I started to feel crazy, frankly, you know? And what I realized was that what was actually the most fun for me, was the process of teaching and game itself. That was what I loved, and I forgot that why I even got into it in the first place. You know, I'd gotten so focused on building the business at that time that I forgot why I even got into it in the first place. It was like the craziest fucking thing. And it's funny because way back in the day, I'd be like sleeping on floors, like 2002, 2003. I would be sleeping on floors with my business partner, Nick, in some random city, teaching a boot camp where we might be teaching a guy like 10 hours a day for almost no money, barely able to eat, not knowing how we'd get to the next city. Literally, that's what we used to do. Like we were sleeping on floors, closets. We would be doing a live program in a Starbucks while all these shocked onlookers would look on, looking up from their coffee like, who the fuck is this fucking loudmouth, you know? This hair was up here, didn't have as much lines in my face, but I'm doing crazy seminars like this in fucking Starbucks or abandoned school buildings. Or I'd go into like a gay AIDS clinic and say I'm gay and have AIDS and want to use their facility. I'd be broken into school buildings on milk crates teaching courses just like this. I have these memories in my head of like the cold air because there's not even heat in it and I'm teaching these fucking courses and I'm running around doing them. And people would say, oh man, that must really fucking suck back then. Break into a school building and sleep on the floor. Your life must be so much better now. You can do it in a nice hotel downtown, know where you're gonna sleep, you're ahead on your finances, everything's cool. Back then you didn't know how you'd even get a meal maybe. But the truth is, even back then, I wasn't even really getting laid as much. Even when I was first starting game, getting laid so little at first. And you think, you must be so much happier now that you know game, your business is working, your programs are filling, everything's great, right? But what I tell you is I was just as happy back then as I am today, when I was taking action, doing my craft, and just in the fucking flow. I always loved doing game. I always knew if any girl would even talk to me, even for a second, I was so pumped. When I started getting laid a little more, I was pumped. When I started getting laid even more, I was pumped. At this point in my life, I'm pumped. My old seminars in a weird school building, I was pumped. I'm pumped here. Maybe someday I could be running a 5,000 person program in a big stadium. And people would say, oh, dude, you remember like fucking 5-10 years ago, you were doing like, a little program in a hotel in Atlanta? God, that must have sucked. God, that must have been the worst. And I'd say, no, that was amazing. I had an amazing day that day. That was a day that I collaborated with a group of guys that came together and fucking crushed it. So it's all fun. Guys will think that there's this better future, but what you don't realize is that the present moment is all you'll ever have. It's in the presence that you find happiness, not in the attainment of some imaginary future. It's right now that you'll be happy. It's the craziest thing. But it can take you until you're middle-aged to fucking realize it. You can wander around this fucking days all through your youth until you realize as you get older what you really love and what you really care about. So I remember at one point, I was shooting the original hot seat footage, and I was like flat broke at the time. It was during the start of the economic recession. And I just found out that the mom of my kids got pregnant without my permission, okay? And I was $500,000 in debt because the recession had started. We'd had this huge success, and the recession kicked in. Some people were affected by that. We were about $500,000 in debt or something like that. It was crazy. And I go out to Phoenix, the last hour that I had, to try to record some footage for this new hot seat program I was working on. And I got this epic fucking clip. My game wasn't as good back then. Now I get so much footage from going out. It's monstrous. I mean, silly. I can't edit it all. But at the time, my game wasn't as good back then. So I could still do great stuff, but it took time. And I got this perfect fucking clip that I wanted so bad. And I was so happy, right, that I had it. And then I found out that the clip was deleted. The audio got fucked up. The batteries had run out on the mic. And what happened was, that whole day in Phoenix, I sat there bitching and moaning to my friends about this clip. And I bitched and I moaned and I bitched and I moaned. And what was weird was in the back of my head, I kept thinking, I'm here with 5 or 6 of my friends, all paying attention to what's going on in my life. They know that the mom of my kid's pregnant. They know that I'm trying on this hot seat. Everybody's here to support me. And now it's Sunday. We can't, the time for gaming is done. The city's quiet on a Sunday in Phoenix at that time. And I could kick it here with my buddies. Have a good day, a memorable day with my buddies. But all that I could do was think about how I need to get that fucking clip that I fucking need, and then I would be happy. And I was so pissed. You ever been kind of pissed off, but knowing in the back of your mind that you should have gratitude for that moment, even though you're in this like lower state? You ever felt that? In the back of your fucking mind, you can feel it. And I felt it. And I felt the negativity burning into me like so much fucking poison. And I'm sitting there feeling so fucking bad for myself. And my buddy Eric, he's driving this little small Honda, and he takes a right turn, and I'm bitching about this fucking clip. I'm seething mad. And I look to the right, and I see a fucking truck coming at me, and a fucking pickup truck straight T-boned me as the impact point, super fucking hard. Knocks me unconscious. I wake up, no shit, wake up, glass all over me, bleeding, and I can't breathe. I think I'm dead. I literally thought I was dead. I'm looking at people driving by, it's a true story, looking at people driving by, rubbernecking. You ever driven by a car wreck and you kind of rubberneck? And it's like, you want to help, but it's like, there's so many car accidents, you can't just get out and help, And you think, oh, that's so fucked up. But then you kind of compartmentalize it. You have to function. It's fair enough, right? I remember I'm looking at people rubbernecking at me while I can't breathe, and I'm like, I wish I was the one rubbernecking. I don't want to be on this side of the movie. This sucks. This is crazy. But I thought I was going to die. And what I realized in that moment that was so fucking crazy was that none of this bullshit even fucking mattered. It doesn't matter. You're gonna die someday anyway. You shouldn't just enjoy the fucking moment. Still work for your goals, still make things happen, work hard, but enjoy the moment. If you can't control something, let it fucking go. I couldn't have controlled that clip issue at that point. I gotta let it go and enjoy the day. And I wasted the last day of my life, the last day of my fucking life, I wasted bitching about some shit that didn't even fucking matter. And I was like, God, I wish I could have known this like 10 years ago. Why did I waste this? And I'm like, basically, and then I thought to myself, because I knocked up my kids that week, I was like, well, I guess I reproduced and I'm gonna die. You know, and I thought of my kid who'd never get to meet me, and he'd watch me in my weird ass videos. And I thought of like, you know, the people I would leave behind. And I realized that the only things that really mattered in life, aside from the, you know, you gotta handle your own shit, but fundamentally, the things you'll care about when you die are the people who you affected positively, the people who you loved, the people you cared about, and the great work that you did in the world. And I realized that at that moment, that all this other shit that I animated, wasting my time on, was a trance. It was fucking fake. This shit was fucking fake. It was inauthentic. It was garbage. And you know, it was weird. I tried to like text people that I love them, like I couldn't breathe, and my hands are fucked up, and I'm trying to text the last people that I love them just to let them know. And I'm not even like that. I'm not that kind of guy. You know, I don't like say shit like that. But I realized at that moment that's what mattered. And so the lesson from that is that there's not some better future that you're waiting for, but the glory days are now. You could walk in here tomorrow in this room and think how weird it would be. Listen to the quiet of the room right now. Imagine walking in this room right now with everybody gone. All the energy that we built here together gone, and the room quiet. How would that feel? Would that feel weird? I think it's fucking weird, right? But what you don't realize is that energy that wouldn't be in this room, you took that with you. We collaborated on that together, and that's with you now. So it's up to you to make a decision about how you want to live your life right now, because it's not going to last forever. We don't know if in a year from now we could have a reunion and somebody might not be here because they passed away. You don't know what the fuck can happen. You don't know how long you got. So don't wait for a better future and trick yourself into some fucking garbage bullshit haze that you're being forced into by thinking it'll be better. What you do is you take the action to get the results that you want. You take action, you work fucking hard, you hustle, you value your goals, but realize that the glory days are right now. Even if you're just starting, it seems rough, you're gonna remember that as the grand adventure someday. When you first learn, you first push yourself. Get present. Wake up. The glory days are now. Stay present with me. Keep that. Carry that with you. The golden era that you're waiting for, it's right now. It's right fucking now. You're in it. I'm gonna rock out of here. Thank you guys very much for coming today. I really appreciate you guys coming today.